Okay, will you do a quick thought experiment with me? I'm going to ask you to do actually a word association exercise. But first, let me just set it up. Let me tell you why. I was listening to a podcast this morning that was describing President Biden's speech at Morehouse College this weekend. And one of the things Biden talked about at great length during the speech is sort of his origin story, the story of what happened when he was a newly sworn in senator. And you probably know it, but in case you don't, when he was about 30 years old, he had just won his senatorial election. And he had just been sworn in, and he was literally at work interviewing new staffers when he found out that his wife and one-year-old daughter had been killed in a car accident while they were out buying a Christmas tree. Also, his two young sons, Hunter and Beau, were in the car and had been grievously injured. So he was going to resign, and then he decided that he was going to stay and serve, but also take care of his sons. And so he stayed on as senator and also took the train home every single night to read his boys a bedtime story and tuck them in. This is just a fundamental part of who he is, right? And those boys grew, and later he experienced further loss when Beau died of glioblastoma, brain cancer. And these are all parts of why President Biden serves, right? They're integral to who he is. In fact, he talked about how Beau asked him right before he died, please don't get out of being of service. Don't step away from service. Stay in it, no matter how sad you are. And that was one of the reasons that Joe Biden decided to run for president, right? So at his center, the reason for his service is first this understanding of great pain and great loss. I have never lost a child, but I have lost pregnancies, and even that almost knocked me out, right? This guy has lost 2 kids and a wife in tragic ways. And yet he uses that as a way to be of love and service to the country. We can disagree with his policies, but like we all know, this is a decent man. And this got me thinking about just the fundamental character of these 2 men who we all acknowledge are imperfect, but I think one massively more than the other, who are running for president this November. And it got me thinking about, like, let's just, as the American people and the voters who have to choose between these 2, there's no other choices, right? Let's just all get clear, none at all. Any other person you vote for is just going to hand a vote to Trump. So these are our 2 choices. Let's just do a quick, here we go. Here's our quick thought association exercise. Think about the individual men, Biden, Trump, and their relationship to family, just family, okay? So what do you think? Like, Biden, obviously, you just get love, right? The guy just, he loves Jill, he loves his kids, he loves his grandkids, he loves other kids, the guy is a loving guy, right? Then you think, Trump, his association to his family. What words come up for you first? Because for me, literally, the first word that came up was porn star. And, right, for obvious reasons. Infidelity came next. Abuse came next. Not happy relationships. I think about the fact that he just sat in a trial and is still sitting in a trial for weeks and weeks, and not a single one of his family members, except for one son, one time, came to sit with him. And I realized that that is a man who has actually 0 actual love in his life. I don't know if he's ever experienced it, and I don't think he's ever given it. This is important. We need to think about this, the character of the man at the top, right? Evangelicals have thrown that idea out the window because they have this one thing that they want. A lot of people have thrown it out the window, but we can't. And if you're undecided, you oughtn't. Because in the end, my ability to love my family is foundational to my ability to be a community member and a member of a country, a citizen. It's all one and the same. Joe Biden, I disagree with some of the stuff he's done so very much, but I know that man is decent, and I know he can love. Trump is not and cannot, and it matters. One last thing to say about presidential candidates and their families, RFK, because I know some of you are just going to bring him up because you like to nettle me. Let's think about his association with his family. Oh, right. They've all endorsed Joe Biden.